Young time, this before monk, at young time, many suffering. My country fighting with policemen and Japanese men, many fight. Then after this also communism, capitalism appeared. Many hurt my mind.
Yes.
Many hurt my mind. Not smooth grow up. Never think about myself. Never think about my clothes, my house, my family, my this, never think about that. My country, my country. Only my country, how make it become independent? This time, so then my country become independent, but Korean people fighting each other. People are not fighting.
Yeah.
Only one mind become independent. But now become one. One fighting Korean people each other, kill each other, fighting each other. Don't like that. That's bullshit.
Yes.
I don't like society. People only like how make correct society.
Yeah.
But society is rotten. Okay. So I go to mountain. Come here. No more go out of society.
So young. Very difficult for somebody who's so young.
Yeah.
You're 20 years old?
Wow.
21.
21.
In the future, this world much have problem.
En el futuro este mundo va a tener cada vez más problemas.
Too much human means too much problem. This world.
Entonces el mundo de los humanos tendrá un problema.
Dog world, cat world, snake world, no problem.
El mundo de los perros, los gatos y las serpientes no tendrá
The
problemas.
sky world, mountain world, air world, no problem.
El mundo del cielo, de las montañas,
Only human make
tendrá
problem
problemas.
this world.
No hacen problemas este mundo, solo el hombre es el que los crea.
So many people think about only human beings,
Mucha gente piensa solo sobre los seres humanos,
not think about the sky and mountain and the ground or ocean or beings.
y no piensa solo por las montañas, por la tierra, por otros seres.
But Buddha always think about not only human beings, any beings.
Pero Buda siempre pensó en todos los seres, no solo los seres humanos.
How save all beings?
¿Cómo salvar a todos?
Great Bodhisattva way. Very good. Okay, you. What's good? Great love. Great compassion. Okay, one more time. Great Bodhisattva way. Very good boy. Yeah. 중생 Okay. May you become Buddha, everybody. Yes, become Buddha.
So, hello everyone again. It's grateful we can share Zen Master Song San's teaching with everyone. And he's suffering like you. Especially he at that time only 21 years old. Before he only maybe teenager, like 15 years old. And he'd been in like a jail. And even though after he became a monk, he has to go to the war too. But then, but after the war, he come back to practice. And Bong Zen Master said, your eyes have angry mind, so you have to practice. Take away the angry mind, then you can more help people. And today I like to share with everyone, actually this world, as Buddha said, is like, this whole world is like a house in fire. So people who have comfortable time, they might not realize it. But people who are suffering from the war, from bad situation, they could feel that more, that, a lot of suffering. In Buddha also said, this suffering is why we have this suffering. Then instead of going to find out why, he said the best way for us as a human is the best time for us to wake up. Wake up to what? Wake up to our true nature, to our true nature is filled with great love and great compassion. As you can see the video, there's Sansanim, after he has so much suffering, and he thought he could fix the world by study, by maybe helping people, but in some way that doesn't work for him. And because of that, he finds the wisdom. The wisdom of what? The wisdom of saying everything is impermanent. And this impermanent is not for us to suffer, but this impermanent is the truth of this whole universe. Any good thing you cannot keep, even though we are experiencing something dreadful, also we cannot keep, because this universe, nature is impermanent. So, but how do we use this impermanent to live our life? Outside world we cannot control, but each one of us, we can control. I won't say the word control, but every one of us, if we have some tools, like the practice, Zen means understand my true nature. What am I? What is this? And if we can reconnect with our true nature, then maybe outside situation we cannot control, but we can be our own master. So recently I have a volunteer. He learns a few tools from our Zen school. They have a lot of understanding in Buddhism, and in fact, they are working for the Dharma. But when they hear the teaching from the Zen Master Songsan, then she could use the tool. And today I like to share, maybe some of you already understand this tool, but it's good we can do it together one more time. Why we cannot control our feeling? Why we already understand everything is impermanent? We understand nothing we can control, but why still we have suffering? Of this suffering is truth, but if we cannot find a balance in our mind, in our life, then this suffering will swallow us. We cannot use the situation in correct life. So this is a good opportunity to explore, as Buddha said, if we want to understand a wicked person, how they practice, they say we have to keep a mind clear mind. In this clear mind, sometimes our mind can be very narrow too. But when we practice, our clear mind, clear like a mirror. Clear like a mirror, then slowly we can reflect everything as they are. It's not what we think they are, but we can exactly reflect everything as they are. It's truth. So, but why can we all understand that? But why we cannot use it? Because we didn't use the teaching as a practice. So that can help us. So this volunteer that I mentioned earlier, she used one technique that we used very often with this breathing exercise. We say our brain is our thinking factory. So if we always think, we always checking, we always holding, then our energy go to this brain. We say this brain is thinking factory. And sometime after thinking, we have emotions, we have feelings, which is also natural. But then we cannot digest it. So we keep the feeling in our chest. So if we keep the feeling in our chest and holding, then we cannot see the truth, because this feeling, this holding, block us from our clear mind. So then there's also named Zen Master Song also said, we have this lower belly, like, this lower belly is a place where we can have our digestion. Whatever we eat, our stomach digests, and this food go to our intestine. Whatever useful, the small intestine will absorb the nutrition, and whatever not useful, it go to our bowels. And this lower belly is, we say, our energy garden. So maybe we can start do a few breathing together. So we try to put a hand on top of our hearts, and then a hand in our lower belly. So we feel our breath. Slowly we're breathing in. Our lower belly, like a balloon, become bigger, bigger, bigger. Then slowly breathing out. Then our lower belly becomes smaller, smaller, smaller. Try that. You can close your eyes. You can open your eyes, up to you, whatever you feel comfortable. We try 3 times. We try 3 times. Slowly breathing in. Our stomach becomes bigger, bigger, bigger. Slowly breathing out. Our lower belly becomes smaller, smaller, smaller. One more time. Slowly breathing in. Slowly breathing out. How do you feel? If you feel like some calmness, some peace appear in your mind, can you share with me, like from your Zoom? Can you maybe like this? Yeah, you can show your finger so I know you experience this breathing. Okay, very good. So only 3 breaths. Only 3 breaths. Already your mind calmed down. So this is very important. This volunteer, I told you that I not yet finished her story. She used this breathing technique to help her mother. Actually, they are going to see her grandpa is dying. This volunteer is a grandpa and her mother is the daughter. And suddenly her mother cannot control, when they are on entrance lift, as the escalator goes up, the mother starts bursting with tears. Then this volunteer, this woman, tried to hug her, say very softly to her mom, "Mom, let's breathe with our lower belly." Then when her mother hears that, and then she and the mother do this breathing together, slowly the mother calmed down. After 2 breaths, her mother calmed down immediately. And when they both calm down, and then they go to see grandpa and father, this grandpa is dying, they go with clear mind. With clear mind, then they can say the last farewell speech with each other. And then the grandpa died very peacefully. So in our life, since this is impermanent, what we usually will is a great teachers for us is this impermanent, this sickness and old age and all kind of suffering that make us suffer. But suffering is not our true master. Suffering is outside. So if we practice Zen to reconnect with our true nature, then this true nature is your true master. Then what happened? Then you can have this clear mind to come back to this moment so we can handle the situation in a more peaceful, more clear, with wisdom and love. We call compassion. So here is the roly-poly, this roly-poly. So whenever something happens, it's like this Dharma, Bodhidharma door. Okay, I show here then. This is a roly-poly. So if I outside situation affect us, and this roly-poly will swing. Will swing. Cannot keep still. Cannot keep still. But if through this, we say this breathing, then slowly, just like just now we experience this free breath, then slowly, this moving, okay, now, okay, it's swing, right? Can you see? It's swing. So I don't like you. I'm suffering. I have anger, Then our mind start like roll. We call it roly-poly. So how to make this mind still? We need to practice. So our practice is A, B, C, D, and E. A is what are we doing right now? We say attention. B is our breathing. Just now we breathe. And this when with breath come to our lower belly, then it's C. Then this through this breathing, this roly-poly will come to stillness. When it comes to stillness, then we have clear mind. It's like the water. If the water is moving all the time, this water cannot reflect, cannot be calm and reflect the things above the water. So when we keep still, then this clear mind become clearer. Then it's like a mirror. Then we can reflect everything as they are in front of us. Then next is how we use this feeling. How do we use this impermanent world? How do we use this conflict to help our life and help each other? That is called Zen practice. So this is a very short, brief introduction about some technique, this to transform our thinking. Through this breathing, we can digest our thinking into wisdom. And if we use this breathing practice, then we can digest our emotion into love and compassion. And if our mind can be still, then our mind can see. Sometimes we mix something too. We see something, also we make some problem in what we see. Because in this clear mind, if we attach to our thinking, then this thinking also will block our clarity of mind. It's like a cloud, covering up. It's like this measurement, this pound, this weight measurement. So this is like this, okay? So when something happens, then we put something on top of this machine, then they can have you can see the numbers of what is happening. But after that, after we use the situation, then we have to bring our mind back to zero again. But if I have some attachment to myself, to this thinking, even though I have nothing on top of the measurement, but you can see my finger. This finger is our lingering feeling, our thinking, our feeling, our emotion. So this pound cannot go back to zero. Now, if I let go, completely put it all down, then this measurement again return to zero. So if I put something on top, then correct measurement will appear. But if I have attachment to my thinking, my feeling, my emotion, you see this pound is not correct. But if I lift my hand, if I not attached, then this measurement again can see things as they really are. Then what you see, what you hear, you see what is correct. And next is how we use it correctly to make correct life. So this is something I like to share. Simple, very simple teaching, but it needs many practice. So, but this practice is not only when you're sitting, you can breathe. You can walk. When you're walking, you can do that. When you're jogging, you can do that. When somehow outside situation, some conflict, also you can do that. So at least we can keep ourselves calm and clear. In this calm and clear mind, then some wisdom will appear to help our life. So thank you very much for listening. I will leave more time for you to ask questions. If you have any question, please let's share your question. Because your question is not a theory. Just now, I talk about some theory. So only understand theory cannot really help us, but theory plus practice, these two things put together, then help us to see the truth as they are. So from the Russian Sangha or from the other Sangha, European Sangha, you have any question you'd like to share with us? Your question will be helpful with the Dharma talk.
Можно задавать вопрос, да? Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте, спасибо вам за прекрасную речь. Я из Украины. Я практикую в школе 2 года, в школе Кванум. Вот. Но мне немножко тяжело говорить, вы меня извините. Я все понимаю, то, что вы сказали, все это действительно здорово, все действительно помогает. Практика действительно помогает вернуться в момент, практика действительно помогает быть здесь и сейчас. Но когда ты видишь, как разрушается твой город своими глазами, когда ты находишься в эпицентре бомбежек, и когда ты видишь и слышишь, как за твоим окном взрываются дома, летают ракеты, как умирают люди. В эти моменты ты не думаешь, что все иллюзия, или тебе очень сложно вернуться в этот момент, который мы называем здесь и сейчас. Ты вовлекаешься в происходящее, или нет. Насколько бы ты много не практиковал, ты все равно ловишь это настроение, ловишь этот хаос, видя страх в глазах близких. В общем, Ну, у меня, наверное, нет вопроса конкретного,
I
потому что вы, в
don't have
принципе, все
a
сказали, что
particular
делать.
question because you have just said everything what we are supposed to do.
Но, тем не менее,
But
вот как в
nevertheless,
такой очень сложной эмоционально, морально
we are being in a
ситуации,
very complex
когда ты находишься
moral and emotional situation.
как бы, когда ты видишь весь этот ужас,
When you see this horror,
даже если ты практикуешь,
even if you're practicing,
сильно практикуешь, все
even
равно
if you're
вовлекаешься. Вот
practicing
как быть?
really thoroughly,
Все равно,
you get
когда ты
involved in
попадаешь
others.
под
When you get
обстрел,
into
ты
when you are
начинаешь
being
молиться всем богам,
under
начинаешь даже верить в Бога,
shelling or
лишь бы
being
выжить.
striked,
И тебе
you
не
try
кажется все
to
иллюзией.
pray to all the gods.
Как быть?
What should we do?
Простой
What-
вопрос
a simple
от
question
человеческого существа.
from a human being.
Thank you for sharing your experience with me. And yeah, I can understand how difficult it is. And because it's very difficult, that's why we need to practice. And this is like at the beginning, we have fear, but then with more practice, every day, don't give up. You know, this is the most important chance for us to wake up. Oh, human. In this human realm, we can have war. This land is very fragile, not only in your country, but many other places in this world also is suffering similar case like Europe. But it doesn't mean we are like have no feeling. It doesn't mean like that. Then like Zen Master, we have to wake up. Wake up. This world is like this. And what can we do? What can we do? So one thing we can do is our, come back to our breath and relax. Because when you can come back to your breath, you relax, then you are able to help yourself. At least. You didn't add one more suffering soul in the situation. Then we are able to, if you are calm, then you can calm other people too. I know it's not easy, it's very difficult when we are in those situations, not easy. Especially we are, in the midst of so many, and everything is so unexpected. You cannot expect anything that is happening in front of us. This is awful to any of us. But what can we do? Is only suffering can help us? Is fear can help us? You can ask yourself, is it only suffering can help me? If suffering cannot help me, is there another way out to help myself? Then that time we need to have a clear mind. This clear mind means then, okay, if you have clear mind, you know where to shelter, you know where to hide, you know where to help your friends, together with you. Because your mind is calm, then you bring calmness to those people who are around you. That's what we need at that time. This calmness, the stillness, is that all we need? Nothing we can do. We cannot change the situation. It's too strong, too big. Those problems is too big for everyone. But we have to do something. Only blaming yourself, blaming also maybe is a kind of expression, but can that really help? Where is my true master now? Outside, are my true master? They are just like floating clouds, only appear and disappear, appear and disappear. But What do we do at that time? There is something we can do, is we have to keep calm and still and be clear. If you are calm, still and clear, you know what to do to help yourself. And if you are calm and clear, you are spreading this calmness, this stillness to the people who are around you, to the area who are around you, to the building you are in, or the shell you're hiding. Then at least this suffering will not cause more suffering. But in this suffering, maybe you'll get enlightenment. You can see the world is rotten. And if this world is rotten, what do? We suffer, we kill each other, we hate more. Is that the way out? No, that is not the way out. We need calmness first. We need still this. That's why those situations appear is more important. We have to make a vow. We have to have a gut. Okay, I have to be clear. I have to be strong and steady. This might have to steady. Don't go to suffering, because if one thinking of suffering, this suffering cloud will block my clear mind. So come back to this moment, breathe deeply, keep calm and still. And whenever you keep calm and still, then you know what to do. At least you can save yourself. Then this saving yourself become your greatest treasure in your life. Later on, this is your Dharma, this is your, in this battlefield, you can stay above this suffering. This wisdom, this experience is a great treasure to you and to those who are around you. And of course, this chanting is very important. Never, whenever this thing happen, you can chant Kwanzaa Bosa. Deep listening, compassionate listening. Kwanzaa Bosa, Kwanzaa Bosa, Kwanzaa. Because when you're chanting Kwanzaa Bosa, it's not just the Kwanzaa Bosa or some beings outside you. This Bodhisattva had this vow, but inside you find your true Kwanzaa Bosa. Then you become Kwanzaa Bosa, eyes and hands and feet and body to help this world. You are born into that area. We have that duty to help yourself and help others, as a Kwanzaa Bosa had their vow. I'm very sad. Of course, whatever words I express will not be the same as what you're experiencing. I can understand that, but let's do something, okay? Every day, actually, in this world, every day, many people are praying for this happening. But what do we do? Okay, I use this happening to wake up, find my true nature. Even I die with this true nature. And come back and help this world with peace, love, and compassion and wisdom. Okay? Linus?
In Lithuania, I'm from Lithuania. Hello, everybody, I'm Linus. We are very affected of this war too, and we have a war in Lithuania too. And don't you think that if we divide this world, firstly to me and the others, in this case, Russians and Ukrainians, and if we blindly blame, even knowing probably that from the very first sight, Putin invaded Ukraine, Russians are on the Ukraine territory, and they are doing, let's say, wrong thing. And from this, it goes a lot of very, very difficult and terrible situations, even inside the Lithuania, because we don't see the whole picture, and we cannot really realize at this moment, because we are full of emotions, that it's very difficult to understand why this happened. Because it happened 1,000 years ago. It happened when first stronger man hit the other weaker man to get something. And it will happen again. And if we divide that with our blind eyes, as you showed us, that emotions are disturbing us to see clearly. So don't you think that if we firstly do not clear our mind from dividing bad or good, enemy, or our, even if I understand how everything difficult and terrible it looks, you don't see that, but we see that all the pictures. And unfortunately, these pictures are hidden from the other side, or accepted as a false information. But however, all these things firstly are emotions, and it brings hatred. So don't you think that firstly, doesn't matter how difficult it is, how unfair does it look and feels, we should stop dividing it and stop somehow, probably at the very beginning, maybe theoretically in our minds, maybe not in our hearts, because it's difficult. Stop blaming. Stop blaming, because it's too primitive. It's not as simple as it is.
Okay, Linus, I understand your question. Actually, just now we use this machine, this pound. Okay, so that's why we need to return our mind back to zero. Any thinking, any blaming, any separation will not make our mind clear. So that's this come back to our, this practice is, okay, that's why in Zen there is a teaching. When 6 patriarchs went to a temple and two monks are fighting, one said the wind is blowing. Another monk said, no, it's the flag is blowing. And they've been fighting. This can apply in all situations, between countries, between people, between families, between each other. We will fight. One is say wind represent some reason. Another say no, it's a flag that is blowing. Then 6 patriarchs say no, that is your mind moving. So this is a very great story, we say Kongan, for us. We can use this story to guide us. Is actually when our mind try to pick side, then our mind already moving. So that's why we have to do this tools, this practice. A is your situation, is what you are doing right now. Do the best of your job, what you are doing right now. B and C is your breathing. Breathe with your lower belly. D is don't make anything. That's why we return our mind back to zero. Doesn't, if we just return to this moment, come back to this moment, and keep calm and clear, then you know what to do to help yourself and others. That's the point. The zero, returning this mind back to zero is like this pound, Then if I have lingering thinking, even there's nothing on top of this pound, But you can see is not zero. There are numbers. There's numbers on it. But if I not touch, don't touch the issue. Come back to this practice. Come back to strongly, especially when those situations so severe, then you have to make extra effort coming back. Okay, I must return to the zero mind, keep calm and clear first. Then you can help yourself, help others. You can even help those people harming you too. I want to share with you one story about my teacher from Thailand. That time he is saving the headwaters of Thailand. Saving the headwaters means why there's a big problem? Because people use that headwaters to grow opium. If you think about growing opium, means a lot of money. And you don't know who is the big boss behind it. But this monk tried to save this headwaters because many villages, in fact, the whole of Thailand is suffering from devastation of the forest and the drying up of all the rivers. So when my teacher is helping those people, then of course, many people don't like him. All these people behind him don't like him. So they make up stories. That was like is almost like 35 years ago. Then they make stories. So they make a computer picture about my teacher and a woman, which was many years ago. They didn't do it well, and many people can see this. The photo is fake, but there is no judgment. Then the judgment is 7 monks. They want to disrobe him. If he refuses to disrobe, they have a gun, get ready to shoot him to death. At that time, my teacher only say, I'm pure, I didn't do this. But I will not make conflict within the Buddhist society. Then they take off his robe, and he was put a white robe. And he didn't dress like a layman after that. He wear this white robe, which is not a Bong robe. At that time, when he pulled out his robe, at that time, my teacher get great enlightenment. Great enlightenment, great freedom. He said, wow, maybe to many people, this is like a slander, is a shame, is defaming him, because he is so famous that time. He won a prize from United Nations UNEP Environment Program. He won a very noble prize. But then people defame him. But at that time, when they're trying to defame him, try to kill him, he got great freedom. At that time, he said, I want to light an incense and flower and bow to those people who harm me. That's why for practitioner, this world, all this conflict, this, right and wrong, it has no meaning. They are just as it is. But if we practice, those things help us to wake up. This is more important. If you wake up, then your job is done in this world. And if you wake up, you not only help yourself, but you're helping many, many people. Not only this lifetime, but next generation. You can help those generation after even you die. So this is what I like to encourage everyone. Conflict is not for us to make separation. Conflict is a great opportunity for us to wake up to who we really are. This true freedom, this true peace is inside us. It's not even, a gun was pointing at my teacher that time. And they say, no, this is decide, you can't, we have to disrobe you. And what happened after 7 years? So it took them some time. After 7 years, then the true story appeared, because those people who have harmed my teacher, one by one, they passed away. Then the last monk who survived told us the story. They say this is a plot they make to my teacher. And after 7 years, he returned this rope back to my teacher, and the whole village, many thousands of villagers, they are so happy because finally they understand the truth. So this is a great story. It's a true story I like to share with answer to your question, Linus. Yeah. Any other question?
This question from Zen Kwan is that you see all this aura, all these people in the state of consciousness. You stop believing that all beings can do this. Second question is, how can you help such a person from loving beings?
Yeah, it's so same. So will they become Buddha? Buddha said all beings. That's why just now Zen Master say, Buddha not think about only humans, thinking about all beings. But in our human realm also have different, in this human realm, people who also have many kind of consciousness. They say animal consciousness. This animal consciousness can be, also they have demon consciousness. But this consciousness is only floating cloud. They one day also will become Buddha too. Like that's why Buddha say all beings have Buddha nature. This we trust it or not, it doesn't matter. But this is the nature of all beings. But those people whom you felt they are harming you, of course, is frightful and is awful. I can understand that because we also experience sometimes, these people when they appear is really, we cannot do anything. Then even though you cannot do anything, but you yourself is most important. Other people, you cannot change them. Even though you hate them, you cannot change them. Even though you love, but one thing we can do is we have to return to our true nature. At that time, because your mind is not moving, then people cannot touch you. If your mind is moving, whatever action they do, they can interfere your life. So that is why it's so important. If you experience this mind, then you will have confidence that all beings, one day in future, they can become Buddha. Also, Buddha, in one of his lifetime, is also a hermit. And the king also tried to kill him. He practiced patience. His object of practice is patience. So his vow is whatever happened to him, he will keep patient and show no anger. So at that time, the king went to the hunting, and he bring along a lot of his court lady with him. His many court ladies is following the king while he is hunting. When the king came back, he saw why all my court ladies surround this man, look very pure and bright. Then this king had very great jealous mind and angry mind. Then he said, who are you? Why all my court ladies, like you so much? And I want to kill you. At that time, he not yet Buddha, he's just a hermit practicing person, not yet get enlightenment, but he has his vow. And he looked at this king with great love and compassion. But this king said, I will kill you. And this hermit, Buddha, former lifetime, only watched them with great love, great compassion. And he cut him, slaughtered him, from the, bit by bit, hand, legs, and ears. But the king, this hermit didn't show any anger. And at that time, this hermit said, if I become Buddha, the first person I will want to help is you. I will save you from suffering. This vow is very important. So please do not lose this great vow. People hurt you, only the body. Because this body and mind can be separate. This body is like a car, but our true nature, this mind, is the driver of the car. This car can have accident, can rotten, but this mind has no coming, no going. Has no life and death. So if we focus ourselves to reconnect to our true nature of no life, no death, at that time, when you look at people, you feel sorry for them. But those people also in future, we can help them. Maybe not this lifetime. So at that time, it's very important to come back to who you really are. And don't think those anger are you. Those are, of course, those anger are true too. Those situations are real too. But they are also impermanent. They are also conditioned to many cause and effect. But those things we cannot keep. But what we can keep is our pure and clear, our true nature that is always with us. We should make a vow. All of us should make a vow. Let's connect with who we really are. And if you come back to who you really are, then those things will come and go. In future, those people also can be your student, that you can help them. Like Buddha. Actually, at Buddha time, he helps many people who are his enemies before. And if those people hurt you, bear one thing in your mind is, they hurt your body, they cannot hurt your mind. Anybody can harm us, harm our body, but they cannot harm your true nature. Keep that strongly in our mind. Then your anger will not become your master. Please remember that. And if you look at them with a compassion mind, well, maybe don't use this word. Keep a calm mind, this calming mind, this stillness mind. Nothing can touch you. Okay, so what is the next question? I will take one more question.
The next question is from Soru. He or she said, is this kind of practice suitable for all people, or are the modifications for different types of people, depending on their quality? Actually, they ask in Russian. We just translate through the website. Yeah.
Say that question again.
Is this practice suitable for all people, or maybe his or her question is, do we need to modify this practice in different types in order to fit different types of people depending on their quality?
Well, yeah, that's why in, you know, if you go to the medicine shop, there are different brand, different types of medicine. So what medicine you need, then that medicine will help you. But the core is the same. Buddhism core is the same. But there are different styles of teaching. But all the style of teaching only point to one thing, to understand our true nature. But maybe they're using different words for that. Some will use mindfulness, some will use chanting, some will use bowing, some will use studying the sutra, and some use different kind. Even meditation in Theravada have 40 kind of meditation technique, but those are but we have to use it. Doesn't matter who you are, you have to use this. You have to practice, not only study. Some people, they don't need a religion, but their mind is very wonderful mind. So they don't use those words, but they are practicing. So this practicing mind is the most important quality, that whatever method come to you, use it. You know, there's a one Zen story, Guji One Finger. There's one Greek Zen master called Guji One Finger, meaning he attained his great awakening from one Zen monk. You know, he asked this Zen monk one question. I don't believe in sutra. I don't believe in anything. I just want to, can you give me one word from your true nature? And this Zen master raised up this one finger. So when this monk saw this one finger, then he get a quick awakening. So this is like a kind of, he experiences quick opening up. So he used this one Guji, we call it Guji One Finger. Whoever come to him, he will raise up his finger. What is Buddha? What is life? What is death? What is human being? I don't like you. Whatever people raise any question to him, he just raise one finger. Then also, because he have this great awakening, even though for us this is like what, you know, but many people through this his experience inspire many people also wake up. So when he died time, he said, my whole life, this teaching, this one finger means all come back to this moment. This one finger is not just one finger. Really come back to this moment 100%. Actually, at that time, nothing can touch you. Nothing can move your mind. And because your mind is not moving, that's why you have clear mind. If you have clear mind, then you know what to do. And he's at the, you know, when he died time, he said, my whole life, this is unexhausted, you know. I use this one finger without, you know, without end. I benefit my whole life. So, so this is my answer to your question. One more question? Okay.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. Yes, thank you for letting me ask. I am referring a little bit to my friend Linus's question, right? This Linus was asking that in his question that was the statement that we should maybe not blame any sides or so. And then in this, I feel a little bit of this danger to slip into this moral relativity, right? Here we have quite clear situation, aggressor and victim. It's like when husband beats wife, we can start saying that, oh, maybe wife also a little bit guilty, right? Maybe she deserves this. But I suppose in this situation, we should say clearly, no, it's not okay, right? We cannot agree with that. You aggressor, you should stop, right? And also I remember late Zen Master Bong once said in Poland during retreat, he said, if some bodhisattva would have killed Hitler, it would save millions of lives. So maybe we need now bodhisattva to kill Mr. Putin, right? Because it's quite close to Hitler, actually. So what would be your answer to that?
Sky is blue, tree is green. That's my answer to you. So, well, Wu Fong Zen Master has his answer to you, but for, it's never ending. If you kill somebody, first you have to know how to kill yourself. If you can, this kill yourself means kill this attachment to this ego. And if you have no ego, then you know what to do. Of course, nobody wants to see this kind of any conflict. Nobody would like, but both have their own story. Then this fight will not continue. It will continue, but I think nature will take its own place to fix this problem by itself. When I say sky is blue, tree is green, this is not a shallow answer. This is everything as it is. In this sky, also many things coming and going, but the sky will remain the same. So I actually you can think anything you want, but the truth is still the same. You can make a plot, you can make anything, but this will that happen? You don't know. Already you're making karma in your mind. The best is, may this war soon end. Let's pray for that. May this war soon end, and may all the suffering, may everyone make the best use of the suffering to wake up. Buddha never go and kill another. Maybe there are stories like they kill another person, but are you in that position to do that? Right. Then we do something that is helpful for us, not just empty talk. But if you practice, we do this prayer together, this may everybody make, become friends. If your enemy cannot become friend, at least we don't make enemy to them. One day they will not hurt you. They might disturb you, but they not harm you. But if we always, it's like this, okay? I like Bong Zen Master say, this karma is like a ball. You throw onto the wall. The squash ball. You throw to the wall, this ball will bounce back. So if you catch the ball and you throw again, and this ball has no ending, it bounces back, and you will, then there's no ending. How to end this, very important, not only this life after life. How do we end this? Is don't pick this ball. So when this ball hit the wall, this ball at the beginning bounced back very strongly. But at that time, just keep calm and still. At that time, this ball will slowly, from very strong, then slowly calm down, then suddenly it stopped. Like the war in Japan. Something will happen, the war will end, but it will take them some time. But now, at not ending time, the enemy or the aggression you think of is still there. What do we do? I think it's more important that we should think more like that. That's more healthy for us, for everyone. There's a Chinese saying, if there's some misconduct or something not fair is happening, they will get punished. I won't say punishment. The nature will do something to fix it. But first, all of us should culture a virtue. This virtue is very important, because if you have this virtue, nothing can harm you, even death. And what is this virtue? This virtue is great love, great compassion, great bodhisattva way, with peace and harmony. Hitler also, he has no good ending to all the you see the history figures, those who make the world suffer, they also will not end happy too.
But still, if you see somebody on the street attacking other person, we should interfere, or we should just stay away and keep our center.
No, we should separate them.
Sorry?
Help them.
Okay.
Help them, save them. That's Bodhisattva way, help them. Not only take pictures, people are more interested in filming, in taking pictures than to pacify the situation. Help both sides. Not only one side, help both sides. People aggression, then stop those, try to distract those people who have aggression, and then pull out the person who are being, suffering, or, the victim. But nowadays, people just watch and criticize and blame, this no good, this no good. That will not help. We should help both sides. Okay, your face look a little serious.
I'm trying to digest, I kind of...
Very good. You digest, very important. Okay, you have to digest it. You come back to your breathing, not only your thinking. Don't use your logical mind. Use your wisdom. Wisdom comes from before thinking. Wisdom comes from digestion of your thinking. So you have to use this we call breathing exercise, slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. So when you're calm, when your mind is clear, then you see everything as it is and you know what to do. But now everybody's mind is not clear. Everybody have their own condition and situation. Of course, there's right and wrong, or good and bad. But how do we use those good and bad? For as a practitioner, for why we have to practice? Because if you practice, then you can know what to do with good and you know what to do with bad. How to use this bad thing, make correct life. How do we use this good thing more in a more like a beautiful, conducive way? You try that first, okay? You calm your mind first. Then look at the enemy again. You know, if you have a calm and clear mind, you look at the enemy again, it will be a different story. Then at that time, you can bow to your enemy, like my teacher. Because those people help us to wake up. They help us to be more strong. They help us to be more clear. They help us to have more wisdom. And, you know, use those things, use those situations, help not only yourself, but those people who are suffering. I think that is more important. If in first place there's no weapon, then this world is very different. But now every country make weapons. So they have to use these weapons. So
if you say about weapons, you know what I did several times, I transferred money to some organization who helped to buy weapons for Ukraine. Am I not correct? Not doing okay? Or is it still okay to help this way to protect this country against this aggressor?
that you have to decide. But for me, I will prefer to buy, you know, help people to, you know, there's no line to say what is right and what is wrong, what is need and what is don't need. But for people nowadays, they need wisdom. Well, this weapon, if you know how to use it, it will help you. But if we don't know how to use it correctly, it's very destructive.
Yes, but if these
They
people
have
do not
good
get,
and bad, you know.
Yeah.
Everything has both sides. Everything has both sides. For me, as a, you know, for people who practice, I think the best is bring people back to the peace.
But in this situation, if Ukraine does not have enough weapons, they will be finally conquered and many people killed, you know, they will be repressed and so on and so on. So it looks for me, it's like correct to help in this situation, to have this weapon. I don't like weapons. I am strongly pacifistic, but in this situation, it seems that it is accurate action. I still have some doubt, but it's hard to decide really.
This helping has no ending. But what helps end our suffering is more important. It's making more cause and effect, cause and effect. But if we help people end the suffering, end this, you know, soon end. It takes some time, yeah. Not only you are suffering, people in Asia are also suffering too. Whole world is suffering because, you know, if one person hit you, you know, your hand not respond, there's no problem, but whoop, emptiness. But if you hit, then the sound appears. Let's talk more about practice. That's the true way.
I have no doubts about value of practice. It's a bit more about this concrete situation, but I totally agree that most important to to keep clear mind and attain this true nature, then it's real, the most real help. I have no doubts about this. But in some
Okay.
particular situations, you have to act in some specific way, right? You cannot just, as I said, if you see somebody being attacked, you cannot just sit in meditation position and then expect that you are helping this way. This specific situation, seems like it requires some specific action.
That you have to decide yourself. But for helping, it's more important help to end this and not to continue. And I believe if we all practice, something will transform quicker. Maybe those things can help, but we have to transform. First World War, Second World War, China also have a lot of war. Many places have a lot of war. But how to make, those wars will not last. They will also, one day will stop. So before it stops, actually our mind have to stop those battling in our mind. The sooner we have this we connect with our true nature, the faster the peace will appear. So this peace must do everybody within themselves, they have to find. That is a great contribution than the weapon itself. How many people can you kill? And those people are also, they are also, maybe they are soldiers. They just take command. But if we can use this peace, something will transform. You have to experience it, then you understand. Like Dae Sanim, look at Dae Sanim. He also in a war. But war cannot end in a war. Also, after he became a monk, he also was sent to the war. But will that help him? And also, something interesting to share with you, Dae Sanim after the war, when he was abbot of Wagesa at the early stage, he, when he lived there, then he was working with the ground in the temple area. Then he find 1,000 crops, and then it's a Japanese, corpse. But he didn't show any anger, even though he suffered maybe that time with the war. Then he do 49 days chanting. So after 49 days chanting, he give back these bodies to the Japanese embassy. This is a great teaching for us. Okay, now is time really overrun. Thank you, everyone. We share the Dharma together. And Zen means understand my true nature and help each other, support each other. So let's start from now. And the past already gone, the future not yet come. Only we have today, right here, right now. So let's everybody start doing that. Plant the seed, find our true nature, plant this seed of great love, great compassion, bring everybody together. And this is the mission. This is the vision and the mission of every human being to do this, not only Zen student. So I want to show my gratitude and respect to all people who are suffering. And maybe none of us want that, but it happened in front of us. So the best is, how do we use these things to transform our life and not lose our great vow as a human being, to attain our true nature and to make harmony with each other. Thank you very much. So maybe shall we do a mantra together to purify our consciousness, to purify this universe, taught by Zen Master Song San, called Om Nam. Om Nam means purify the universe from 10 directions. Maybe we have our palms together and we do this Om Nam for 7 times. Om Nam. 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 Okay, wherever you go, bring this Om Nam with you, and let this Om Nam purify the universe around you.